today's little jaunt then is a jog around Derwent Water. So I'm in Keswick and I'm going to run around the lake. To make it right and proper, I'm going to start at the Moot Hall. Overall, I reckon I'm going to go about 8 or 9 miles. I think that's the distance. Depends if I get lost. Set off, it's about 8:25. And we'll see what time I get back. The reason I'm not going up there today should be self-evident. Cloudy, grim, and wet. Oh, I think I need to go down here. There's another runner. And it really is difficult not to take photographs and videos because this is what I'm surrounded with or by this morning. But it does look grey and dull and threatening rain, but at least I'm out. And as they say, a rainy day on the hill is worth, or is better than, a dry day in the office. Over the River Derwent on this fancy suspension bridge. 2 and a bit miles in and come out the woods. That's Cat Bells up there. Just need to make sure I'm going in the right direction. I don't want to go up there. I want to stay on the flat and go around the lake. Since I got my Fitbit, which is about 5 months ago, something like that, and I did my epic 13 miles cripple myself run in Dorset, I've done some reading about running and old people like me. I got a book called Run to Your 100 by, I think it was Jeff Hamilton. Now I read Phil Matherpone's book, got it for about £3.50 on Amazon, second hand. And another great book called Training for the Uphill Athlete. I wouldn't call myself an athlete, but I did want to try and get fitter, still do. And what that taught me was actually slow down your running. Run within what's called your aerobic zone, and you don't get that out of breath, and you should be able to carry on a conversation like I'm doing now. And if you run lots of hours within that zone, it burns fat, not the glycogen that's in your muscles, which means you can run and do activity for longer, which is what I want for the mountains. And see, I'm stopping now because I'm finding it hard to talk and run, so I'll walk for a little bit. And it means you can then do what you want to do for longer. So that's what I've been doing. So I try and stay within my aerobic threshold, which I've worked out for me is probably about 140 heartbeats a minute. So that's why I sort of stop and walk. Like I stopped at 123, so I'll take up my running again. So there we go. As I was walking, that's dropped to 126. So I'll take up a bit of a jog. 141. So that means it's time to just stop and walk for a little bit. And as you can see, it's actually gone up a bit. 146. And now I'm having difficulty holding a conversation or difficulty talking without huffing and puffing. And the idea is I want to stay below my huffing and puffing zone. Jog for a little bit until I get to 140, and then I'll stop and walk a bit like this. the idea of this slow running malarkey is that once you get back from your run, and I've been doing, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 miles of a lunchtime some days, you should feel that you can do it all over again. So currently I've done for 4.5 miles and I almost feel fresh as a daisy. I've just run past a bloke who probably thought I'm completely mad talking to myself. The purpose of all this training is to try and get fit for the mountains, and we've been up in the Lake District now for I think 6 days. First day I did, I think it's the Coaldale Round, which is about 10 miles at about 3,500 foot of ascent, 136, and then that I was pretty knackered after that, mainly because of the ascent. Then I had 2 days off. Then I went up to Skiddaw, which was about just over 9 miles at about 3,000 foot of ascent. And today I'm going around the lake, as you know, 144, time for a walk. And what it's emphasised to me is when I'm back home in the Midlands, there are no mountains, so I don't get to do much uphill. The uphill really does, I do feel challenged by it, and I can tell that because my muscles are a bit achy the day after. But had it been brighter today, I probably would have gone uphill. I feel pretty much recovered from my Skiddaw 2 days ago, although my legs do feel a bit tired. And the message just brings home is to get fit for the mountains, really you've got to be in the mountains. It's a bit of a dilemma, I have to move. Another bridge. I think this is where the Derwent enters Derwent Water. Yeah, I think it's fair to say this is probably the halfway point. So I've got a bit lost. I've ended up coming down into this wood here, and I'm on the wrong side of this stream, and I want to get back up to the road, a bit like the Amazonian jungle here. So that was somewhat amusing. Managed to get across that little stream without getting completely wet, and now I've got to go along parallel to the road, but I've just realised there's actually a path up here. Just hit the 6 mile mark, so there's probably about another 3 miles to go. So although the road is only just up there, there's no footpath as far as I can see. So I've taken the choice to run down along the foreshore, where also there is no footpath. Just over 7 miles now, and getting back to Keswick.
If you could.
Well, nearly there, just coming into the town now. That's not bad. Nine miles according to that.
Distance 9 miles. Duration 2 hours 1 minute.
So there we go. Back at the Moot Hall. So that's not bad. And according to what Mr. Maffetone says, or was it Mr. What's his name? Jeff somebody. Should be able to do that again. I'm not quite sure I could do it again, but I know I'm out of breath, but in a few minutes I'll have recovered and Yes, and I need to get on the rest of my holiday fun.